Hello guys, it's me, Big Dave, and today we're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. Specifically, we're going over how I do Iron Twins and Shoguns Grove using three champs all the same speed. So we'll get into the run, we'll get it started, and then afterwards I'll go over the gear, the champs, the replacements you can use for those champs, and yeah, so we'll get it started, and I'll see you guys on the other side. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll see you in a minute or two. Hello guys. So yeah, that's it. Must give a little disclaimer before I start. I built this comp about 6 or 7 months ago. I used the guy called Bronco Raid Shot, I think his name is. Yeah. He put me his videos put me on the idea of this. I must say it's an outstanding idea. I would never have thought of this. This is like Shogun's Grove is by far one of the hardest, I admit. But Emic makes it so much easier. So yeah. So what I'll do is I'll go over the champs now and the gear to give you guys an idea of how I did it and how you should build it if you've got the same champs. Okay, so we'll get started, and right, let's get into it. Right, okay, okay. So we'll start with Emic. As you can see, I've got him in regen and immortal. This is sort of a combination of both, isn't it? I think. Yeah, regen and immortal. But it's more immortal than regen. Regen what I happen to have lying about, to be honest. In a perfect world, I want the regen to be defiant or bolster or something along those lines. Because yeah, this guy is really good. He is he's one of the best fusions I think I've had, apart from probably Newt. You know, So yeah, outstanding champ. So the speeds you need for him are 271. So that speed will work on both. But as long as long as you build the other champs right, but you need it to be 271, and it'll work on here, and it'll work on Shoguns Grove, and it'll work on Iron Twins. So yeah, so it's pretty self-explanatory. I try to give him as much HP as I can for the shield, enough defense. I do plan on using him in Hydra eventually, with Nia, but I need to do masteries, which I'm going to do now because I'm not doing the fusion. You know, it does look good, but I'm not doing it. So I'm going to try and save some resources and build the resources again, which would be nice. So yeah, so this is Emic. Then we've got Slow Coldheart. So this is the slower of the two. So this is 180. So yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. She's there basically for the Heartseeker. So you don't need to build full crit, just 70. But obviously, you'll see in a second, she has to be, your Gnarlhorn has to be your lowest. This is not the one I use for Iron Twins though. This one's only used for Shogun's Grove. So she's the slow girl. So I should put like a sign on her saying slow, but I can't do that. So yeah, but she's the slower of the two. Then Coldheart number 2. I'll call it 1, I should say, so fast. As you can probably see, I've taken off her amulet purely because, as you can see, she's got nearly 280. Then it's so much harder to get crit damage onto Gnarlhorn. You know, you can't do it, obviously, but I get crit caps anyway at a certain point, so you can't do much higher than that. So yeah, we go over her stats. So she is 223, 42k, little bit of defense, 223 speed, enough accuracy because I use this one I was using that in Dark Fair. I don't think I have anymore because I use Royal Guard instead, because he offers a little bit more than she does. But anyway, that's besides the point. So that's Coldheart 2. This one you can use on both. This is the one I use on both. So the 223 will be the one you use on Shogun and on Iron Twins. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I put a little bit of defense in. I put a little bit of HP on her to make sure that she survives. It's not necessary really, but it just helps. It does help. So yeah, so that's Coldheart. Then we'll get into Gnarlhorn. This is yeah. So we'll go over Gnarlhorn stats. Gnarlhorn, try and stay away if you can on everybody away from speed and perception, because if you stay away from it and you keep to these speeds, it'll work. If you start adding perception, speed, all that kind of stuff, you'll find that it'll outsync, because the way Law of Steel works with perception and speed, and some of the newer sets have speed, like Righteous. I would stay away from them if you can. Because I did this by tuning it without it. And that's how I tuned it, without as little of it as I can, as you can see here. So yeah, obviously Gnarlhorn has to have HP because he has to survive the initial first couple of hits. He has to have defense in order to, he has to mitigate the damage on the first couple of hits so he doesn't die, basically. Because he'll be the first one to get hit, and if he dies in that first hit, you've had it. So building with enough defense and enough HP, you have to have both. So I'll show you what I went with. As you can see, because he's slow, you can probably get HP boots on him. And that's what I did, I think. I think it's HP boots I've got on him. So we've got 62k HP, 3,600 defense, 168 speed, no crit, all crit damage, so he becomes the tank, and nothing else. I've effectively ruined this guy because I was using him in secret rooms, but I had to do it like this, so now he's got no accuracy, so he now doesn't work for secret rooms, and he's, let's be honest, way too slow now. So, but I'm building a second for it, so that's all good. But yeah, so that's Gnarlhorn. Absolutely amazing. So basically, him and Emic swap the unkillable. So Emic will have it, he'll reset, then Gnarlhorn will have it, he'll take 2 turns, and the fact, what makes it really good for this guy is his A1. I'll show you why this guy is so good. is A1, as you can see, this attack cannot strong, critical, or weak hit, which means the counter doesn't go up. So it's a very clever idea. There are not many champs with this ability. There aren't. Most people run like a cleanse, like a wither or a barrel or something along those lines. I could have done that, but I preferred this because of Awakenings. Because let's be honest, it's way easier to get Gnarlhorn, Coldheart, Painkeeper with high Awakenings because they're rares. You know, they're easier to get. They appear in the shop more. You pull them more. You know, I've got enough now, and then so we'll go into the last one, which is Painkeeper. So this is my Painkeeper. So this one is the one I use on both. So 250 speed, 63k HP, 250 speed, pretty much nothing else. And she's got resistance and accuracy by a byproduct that I've almost finished Great Hall. That's the only reason she's got that, to be honest. And the gear I've used. If I remember rightly, I used... Yeah, I had to mess around with her speeds. Trying to get the HP without perception was difficult, so I tuned it. But it still works with this one. I know I said not to use it, but here I have and it works. Because she basically, on Iron Twin, she has to go in between, I think it's Geo and Emic, I think, or just after, reset. But obviously there's two of them there. So yeah, so this is Painkeeper 1. Obviously I've got a blessing on it. The more blessings you get for her, then you can swap out the damage dealers. Because obviously there are better damage dealers in Coldheart. But again, I haven't got the blessings in order to do it. So, yeah. So that's Painkeeper 1. So, Painkeeper, Fast Coldheart, and Emic are the ones you use in Iron Twins. And then I'll go over the next two now in a second. So, right. So, here's Geomancer. This is my second Geo. Let me go over the stats to give you an idea of what I use. So, right. Total stats. Right, so he's 254 speed, high defense, a little bit of HP, and the trick here, this is where the free-to-play aspect falls off in this comp, 500 plus accuracy. Because of the way the amount of accuracy you need for Sand Devil is absolutely stupid. It's like, I think it's 480 or 500, it's a lot. So this is where the free-to-play aspect drops off. But obviously, I only use this guy for Iron Twins. I don't use him anywhere else, apart from like when I have to use him in Cintranos. But yeah, you need the accuracy. That's where it becomes, where the tough part comes. So chances are you're going to need accuracy on the banner, accuracy substats on the amulet, and you're probably going to need accuracy on the chest plate. No, unless you've got a max Great Hall, and you've decided to max out the live haul as well, getting into 500 is going to be tough. But that's what you're going to need in order to make this work. I was running a comp before when I run Claude for the extra accuracy, but the problem is that fails on certain affinities. So this is why I went with this one. And again, another big shout to Bronco for this one, because it's a outstanding idea, and it makes it less than a minute most of the time. Yeah, I honestly, it's a cracking little comp. So yeah, so that's Geo, and then the last Painkeeper, which is at 50. I know. I should really make this one 60, but I don't need to because she's the second one. You need a high. I prefer a tankier one for Shogun, but you only need one there. So it starts 246 speed, 34k HP. Really, the speed's all you need for Iron Twins, because it'll sink. Once it sinks, no one even gets close to dying. So yeah, it's as simple as that. Tell you what you can do. So I've got all the stats on this one. Tell you what you can do on Geo. Did I put masteries? Yeah, I went. Like, you can, if you're really, really struggling, you're gonna need masteries on Geo purely because of the way that his passive works. So that's how I've gone with it. As you can see, gone down to War Master. Because obviously then War Master can proc when his HP burn gets reflected. You could go Eagle Eye if you're struggling for the accuracy, but this is how I went. This is, I feel, the best way to go with him. So, yeah. Are there any replacements? Yeah. In Iron Twins, not really, because it's pretty much based around 4 champs, or so 2 champs. Yeah, it's based around Geo, Emic, and the 2 Painkeepers resetting. So, but in Shoguns Grove, yeah, you can replace the Cold Hearts with the same speeds. Like Ninja is a really, really good option. I would say Newt, but I think the last Shogun is Magic, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a quick check. Believe that it is. Yeah, all these pop-ups. So the last one, I believe, is Magic. Yeah. So the problem is most of us were doing 24 with Newt. The problem is that you don't get the dust, which I think is a little bit unfair. That's my only gripe. As you can probably see if I move us out of the way, there's the dust. It should relatively be on. I reckon it should be on all stages, but a less of a drop or the same drop on 24. Other options, Ninja, Cronam is a decent shout here. Anyone that poison explodes. Dark Kale could be used, but again, it's I'm not sure where the poisons work on this boss, but anyone that HP explodes can go into that slot. Like, most enemy max HP apart from Acrizia, unfortunately, because her passive is what allows her to do it, so you can't use her in this comp. Just to make you guys aware, yeah, so Newt, but again, you're running with Affinity. You could change Affinity on Newt if you want to put Affinity Break on Newt if you want to use them in 25. But again, I personally wouldn't. It would be quicker, but I think Ninja is the best option. Cronam is another option. Any HP burner. You could theoretically use I think you could use Geo, but again, I don't think it works that well there. So yeah, Iron Twins, the comp is very specific to Geo. You could use Newt, but what I find is that enemy max HP really doesn't help. All she's doing is supplementing Geo's damage, really, they're called out. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely difficult to get that comp right. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I've got a couple of it. I'll be going over the update later on today, maybe tomorrow, depending on what time looks like for me later. But yeah, so I will be going over the update. I got a video incoming about, as you've probably seen from me going through my champs, I pulled a mythical over the weekend, well, on Friday. So I'll be going over that champ once I've done their masteries. So yeah, we'll be getting started on that. So if you want to see what a mythical looks like, I've got kind of lucky, so it is what it is. I've got a couple of videos coming for Hydra coming soon because I'm building out new comps, and it's our week off Hydra this week, so I get to experiment a bit this week, so it's kind of nice. And then yeah, and obviously the Centranos videos when the reset happens next week. I think it's next week. So yeah, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've got lots of things coming in the pipeline. Going over a few things, testing a few things. So yeah, so I hope this video finds you guys well, and hopefully I'll get to see you very soon. So thanks for putting up with me for the last 20 minutes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So it's Big Dave out.